Yo. The gang is all back together. We have everybody today.
Reunited.
Man, listen, welcome back to another episode of IBTE Sports Podcast. You got your boy Lawrence, Kenny, Phil, and Neil. We're all back together. Kenny was working last week. Out there working hard. You know? How y'all feeling, man? What's up? What's the vibes today? What's the energy? No, what's the energy? I want you to set what's the tone of the episode today?
A couple months ago, the Rams won the Super Bowl, so I'm all right.
So you all right? So now I see. So recent things that happened really don't matter. You want to go back?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what's happened recently,
okay.
The Rams won the Super Bowl.
And when was that? Take us through a timeline.
So that was in February of this year. So that was like 2 months ago almost. Yeah, 2 months ago. And then I went to LA. I went to LA for the parade. That was good.
Was LA nice?
That was nice. LA was nice. Then that's it.
That's it.
That's all.
So we're just sitting in April about to.
Yeah.
What about
don't forget.
You missed the blockbuster trade.
Which one?
The Nets made a blockbuster trade during that time period too. Didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did do something about that. We'll talk about that bullshit later. All right. Listen. We will talk about that little bitch, that little pussy later. You can't get me going on him just yet. I can't even. Can't get me going just yet.
Yo, all right, Phil. What's up with you, man? What's the vibe right now? How you feeling, man?
All right,
on this wonderful Wednesday.
Setup area is a little dusty. Hold on, I just need to sweep up a couple of things. Hold on.
Oh man, this is hilarious.
Yeah, it's a lot of brooms in one area. But...
all these props, all this, everything, just to lose in the next round.
Hey, you're the one that said Nets in 5 and Nets in 6, but
that's fine.
I'm surprised you didn't say Nets in 7. So
I had insider info that led me wrong. So
this is true. We cannot be blamed.
What about you, Kenny?
I can't complain. I've been a busy man recently, but all is well. Kenny's back.
How's work been?
Hectic. Fall sports are insane. You don't realize how many sports are played in the fall until you have to report on all of them. It's kind of crazy.
Right, I miss crystal clear Kenny. This is old school Kenny here. This is the blurry.
Clear on my end.
Wow.
Back in the day when
it'll probably clear up. It'll probably clear up as the show goes on.
Also, side note before we start, I had to put on a little dress shirt, wear black for a funeral, so I had to come prepared this week.
All this just to lose in the next round. It's kind of sad.
Oh man, but listen, we can. There's a lot to unpack. A lot of the series. We had 2 series. Was it 2 series that closed out?
Yep.
And the rest are still going right now. We'll start with the Heat and the Hawks. Was that kind of expected for y'all? 4-1.
Yep.
I was expecting a sweep, to be honest, but 4-1, I'm glad the Hawks actually put up a fight. Honestly, it should have they should have won more than one game if Trae Young didn't play like a bum.
No.
So.
Yeah, he played bad.
He played very bad.
They were bullying the fuck out of him.
Yeah, that Heat defense is no joke. After watching that series, I watched a lot of that because I had a lot of bets on that series. I mean, the Heat can definitely go deep in that Eastern Conference with that defense.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And shout out DeAndre Hunter, one of the few shining stars on the Hawks team that showed up during that series. He did very well during that series.
I think if the Hawks had a healthy John Collins, it would have been a little bit different, and a healthy Clint Capella, a little bit different of a story. But that's the Heat's the 1 seed for a reason. So.
Yeah. Also, Bogdan was out the closeout game as well, so they're missing his scoring expertise.
And that's 20 points a game right there that they just missed out on.
What do y'all think? The Hawks are missing?
Defense.
You said defense?
Defense, yeah. They're like one of the low bottom teams in defense the whole year.
I think they just, I think they just need a second guy. They don't really have that second guy. John Collins is very inconsistent. He tries to be that second guy. he's young still, so his game will definitely get there. But I just think for the way the league is going, the way that's going and what direction it is, I think they just need a second guy. A shooting guard, a small forward, somebody like that, to take the pressure off of Trae Young a little bit.
I think they need a number one guy. I think that Trae Young is proving us he's not a number one guy. I mean, he had a terrible series, 15 points a game. That's pathetic. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not. I can't call you a superstar. You're averaging 15 points a game in the playoffs.
Ice.
Like, yeah, that was cute what you did last year against the Knicks.
Ice trade the game.
Yeah, and also this game 5 was the best chance for the Hawks to win. No Kyle Lowry or Jimmy Butler.
So Boston with him.
Top 2 stars were out.
And we're gonna get to it. Don't worry. It's gonna be very entertaining when that comes up. Nah, but the Heat, man, they got people, man. What are they about? Probably 8 players, 9 players.
Also,
They're deep. They're
got from 20.
Yeah, they're 10 players deep on that team.
Yeah. So
they might be like the first 1 seed in the history of 1 seeds that like no one talked about at all as like a title favorite. Like, think about it. Coming into this playoffs, it was like, Bucks, Warriors, Suns, Nets. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody respected the Heat, and they've
been top 3 all season, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's gonna be real interesting.
Plus, they have old man Dwayne Desmond as their backup. And he's playing well.
Don't forget about Adonis Haslam.
That's an old man.
That's an old man. He doesn't get playing time. He's just there as a player coach.
But he's there.
Jimmy Butler, who you talking to?
Yeah, I mean, Dwayne Dedmon's 32 years old. He's not even that old. He's just been in the league for a long time. No, he's just been in the league for a long time.
Yeah, I thought he was older than that too.
He's only 32, man. He looks old.
What was the one guy they had on that team? Joel Anthony or something like that.
Anthony.
Yeah, I thought it was him.
He wasn't old either.
Number 50. I don't think he was old though.
No.
Yeah.
Like these are just guys. They also played in the league for a very long time, so you just would they've been from team to team to team.
Right, but when you get in the league at the age of 19 or 20 now, by the time you're 30, you've been in the league for 12, 13 years.
Right. Yeah, people forget that. A lot of people forget that NBA players get in the league at like 18, 19 now. Like, they spend 1 year in college and that's it. Or some people skip. They come from Euro leagues or something where they skip college altogether, like LaMelo.
Yeah, Heat versus Raptors could be a very interesting series. I'm looking forward to that.
Like, you got dudes like
you said Heat versus who?
Raptors.
Heat versus Raptors. He's already counting the Sixers out altogether.
All right, so we can go right here. That's a good segue then. So you think they're gonna beat them?
I think it's gonna be close, to be honest. But I'm gonna say the Sixers. I think I'm going by original prediction. What we made before this playoff started. I think the Sixers barely slide through this series, just because.
Man, I don't know, man. I think James Harden is selling, man. He's just not
nothing new.
He's just out there. Like, even when you watch the games, he's just.
I think that this is James Harden now, though. Like,
yeah, his assist numbers has been good.
I mean, I saw it in person last year. Granted, he had a little hamstring injury, but he like we talked about, in the pre-show, he just cracks.
Yeah. Well, and not even just that. Like, not everybody is great forever. Like, he had a phenomenal 5-year stretch. Like, that's more than some people ever have. Like, just because he was great for 5 years doesn't mean he's going to be good for the next 5. Like, I think that we're just seeing. That's true. This is what James Harden is. Like, not everybody's LeBron, where they're just great from the minute they get in the league until the minute they hang it up.
I mean, if perfect comparison, if you want to say that, I mean, look at KD this year. Not saying that KD's done or anything like that, but KD had some great runs in the playoffs, and now this year it was very suspect. So, that's a good point.
Like, ever since, maybe near the end of his years in Houston, he started becoming more of the facilitator. We saw that a lot in Brooklyn, and we're seeing that a lot now. He's more passive and looking to get his teammates open more than him actually going for those high score games.
He's a stat padder. He pads the stats.
Obviously, Joel Embiid's gonna have to hoop, but I think Tobias is gonna have to step it up a little bit more to close the series out.
There's no excuses for this team. I don't want to hear a single excuse.
You got Maxi's emerged.
There's 7 or 8 players deep on that team against the Toronto team that everybody counted out and you up 3-0 against. So I don't want to hear a single excuse.
There's no Ben Simmons to blame anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot different now. No
No,
Ben
man.
Simmons.
Yeah, I gotta definitely watch that video to see what he said exactly. But
Yeah, the Sixers
Doc
lose.
Rivers,
Doc
man.
Rivers is most likely gone.
Listen, I've said it to you guys before. Said it to anyone that would listen to me. Doc Rivers might be the most overrated coach in the history of basketball.
I can see that.
But
Well,
Kenny, he won championships with the Celtics.
Yeah, and it's like,
Wait.
in order for him to win that championship, what did he need? Oh, he needed a Hall of Fame Paul Pierce, a Hall of Fame Kevin Garnett, a Hall of Fame Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, who was probably the best point guard in the league at the time.
Young Tony
was
Allen
one of the,
as well.
the best point guard in the league at the
Kenny,
time.
don't say that about Doc Rivers, Kenny. You got to. The Celtics fans are here.
Yeah, like it's just
I've agreed with Kenny about that on the podcast before.
Yeah, he's severely overrated. I mean, the guy is. Let's not act like he hasn't had talent. He went to LA with the Clippers and had tons of talent and did nothing there.
Nothing.
Like
Wow,
they were
just
never,
great
they were
Lob
never
City?
a threat. Like no one. I don't
They
know.
never
I
did
never
anything.
took the Clippers seriously.
But, you know,
even when I never thought like, oh, they're gonna win.
But you know what? To touch on that though, Chris Paul was injured every time they got into the playoffs. And if you look at Chris Paul's playoff history, he was injured every single time they got in.
Or Scott Foster was roughing.
what if he gets hurt tomorrow night?
That's another series that's in question for real.
Game 7.
Yeah, listen.
That's
for real.
another serious.
They're hanging out for dear life right now.
Yeah,
Also,
like
D
for
Book
real.
might be back Game 6 or 7 through the reports. So we'll see.
Yeah, I have.
He should not rush back.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. He should not rush back. And if it goes to 7, maybe come back and give him 20 minutes if it goes to Game 7. But you have to have faith in your team, as the most consistent, best team in the NBA to win to beat the last team that made it to the playoffs.
If they were a 9 seed coming into the season. Like,
I think they were the only team with a negative record.
Yeah, they're the worst. They're in NBA history. They're the worst team to ever have or worst record team to make the playoffs ever.
Jose Alvarado, he's out there.
Alvarado.
They're just getting balled up by rookies right now. Honestly, like they're getting balled up by young guys, rookies.
Who?
Imagine if they had Zion too. That's another 23, 25 a game that you get put on your head.
Right, Herbert Jones and Jose Alvarado has been balling.
I mean, Herbert Jones is a fucking beast, man. Like he's gonna be so good in this league.
Bro, did you see his closeout shot against Michael Bridges from the paint?
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally like 2 steps and he leaps up and blocks a shot.
Yeah, it's insane. His arms are freakishly long. He's gonna be. He's already an elite defender, and once he gets his scoring down, that's trouble.
Yep.
Speaking of Michael Bridges, you think that Philly's regretting trading him on draft night right about now, especially being that they're without Matisse Thybulle this series?
I believe it. I want to say he's from. Is he? I think he's from PA.
Yeah,
he's from PA
Philly.
too.
He went to Nova.
Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Should have won Defensive Player of the Year, I think, over Marcus Smart.
Yeah, he was getting crazy last night too.
Yeah,
he had like 3 or 4 steals.
They drafted him. His mother works for the Sixers organization too. Like they were talking about it on draft night, and then like 20 minutes later, they're like, "This just in."
Yeah, and now he's got a fat extension from Phoenix, which is well deserved because that guy's a fucking beast.
Right.
Phoenix is very good. Phoenix is very good. If they can get by this round healthy, intact, I think they can go deep. But we're talking about 76ers Raptors.
No, the conversation just kept going. You feel me?
All right.
It was fun.
I'm just making sure we weren't jumping. I didn't know.
No, you're fine, bro.
Well, so to talk about the Raptors, I think it's gonna be very tough for them to win with Van Vliet not 100%.
Yeah, because he didn't even play last game, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
So I think that obviously that bodes very well. Scotty Barnes is back, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, Scotty Barnes is back.
Yep, he played last game. Let's go, Ron. What's good, bro?
The thing that the Raptors have going for them though is they're playing against James Harden and Doc Rivers. Like if there's anybody you want to be down to in the playoffs, it's those two.
It's Doc Rivers.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. But
Just like Jalen Rose said.
But I also think at some point talent takes over. Especially deeper into series, talent takes over, and the team with the better talent is going to end up winning. So without Van Vliet, I mean that's huge. If you don't have Van Vliet, right? That's massive.
Drake on the bench.
Drake on the bench, but then celebrating with Joel Embiid after he's had game-winning shots. It makes sense. Come on, Aubrey.
It all depends who Drake bets on too. So. Ooh.
Yeah, the Drake curse lives on.
Yeah, definitely lives on.
Thank you,
man.
Drake Parlay. Yeah.
Well, no, he put mad money on the Rams to win the Super Bowl, actually. So, and
Yeah,
Odell scored touchdowns and shit. So I think that curse is over.
He bounces out.
You bet on Odell, and he tore his ACL.
That's
it.
But he scored the first touchdown.
He did it for a touchdown. That's it.
In some way, somehow, the bet is gonna go crazy.
That's
somebody getting affected.
That's actually, yeah. You know what? That's yeah. Fuck.
At the end of the day.
So the universe evened out. But I mean, also according to Dr. Elatraj, the Rams doctor, fixed his knee and said Cleveland fucked his knee up on his surgery. So
lawsuit.
maybe it's a better thing that he tore it.
Right.
That's a conversation for another day.
No, but sometimes it's like remember when Levert got traded and he found out that he had
heart issues.
Yeah. Sometimes it's crazy, but bad things are the best thing happening.
Same thing with LaMarcus Aldridge. They found it out on a team physical.
Yep.
He had heart issues. But I think if the Raptors are full strength, I think they win the series or this week coming up. Tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I think they win that game. I think it goes to 7 if they're full healthy, and then that's a toss up for Game 7. It's in Philadelphia. Those fans are going to be nuts.
Right, but at the same time, though, are the Philly fans going to be just as rabid towards the Sixers because we know Philly fans are?
Right. That's what I mean. The Philly fans are going to be just savage.
Get home and
like it might be more pressure for the Sixers because they're playing in front of those crazy fans.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, we were talking.
Yeah.
We kind of rolled into it though with the Suns and Pelicans. Shout out to Bi, man. Bi is absolutely balling out.
Except for that fourth quarter he had last game.
You said what?
Except for that fourth quarter, I did not see it.
Hey, he's doing all. Listen, he's doing all he can.
He's so good, man.
Game 1, he had 18. Second game, he had 37. Wait, I'm tripping. Yeah, game 1, 18. Game 2, 37. Game 3, 34. Game 5, 30. And then yesterday he had 22.
So good.
He's doing what he has to do.
14 in the first half.
He's going to get rebounds. He's assisting. He's facilitating and everything too. So he's playing big. But
he's playing how Kevin Durant should have played. But that's a different story.
Yeah, he's been like this. He is that guy. He won that Most Improved Player for a reason.
The Lakers are killing themselves right now.
Bro, if the Lakers if they just kept Randall and Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball,
there's so many things the Lakers can
and Kyle Kuzma,
and Josh Hart maybe. But
or let's go back even further. If they kept D'Angelo Russell, they'd never drafted. I mean, I love Lonzo, but never drafted Lonzo. Then you could have drafted Jason Tatum the next year.
My God!
You had Bi, Jason Tatum, D'Angelo Russell. You would have eventually got LeBron.
Well,
still.
D'Angelo Russell had to get out of LA. There was no way he could stay there. That dry
I hear you,
snitching
but it would
shit.
have been a whole different team. Who was still on the Lakers now that was on the team then? It would have been
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying, he wouldn't have. I mean, with what he did, there was no way he could have stayed there.
Oh yeah, but if you knew you were going to completely revamp the roster,
he said the dry snitching.
Over you guys.
Dry snitching. Yeah.
That was really wild though.
Is that Icky? No.
Swaggy P wasn't having it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
and I think CJ's playing pretty well too. He's getting after it on the boards and everything too. So
yeah, I mean CJ's been there before, man. We've seen this before from him. This ain't nothing new for him.
He has some sloppy turnovers here and there, but that's from him.
I think he tries to do a little too much.
Yep.
Yeah.
He also shot 1 for 8 from 3 last night. So
the 3-point line last night was just killer for everybody. Like nobody could shoot last night on that game. There's just a bucket on the rim last night.
Yeah.
For that game. But this is just another series. I didn't see this coming. I thought the Pelicans had juice, right? I didn't think they had this much juice. I think obviously Devin Booker not being there helps for the Suns, but they did beat them with Devin Booker there too. So
Jonas Valanciunas.
When you're as good as the Suns are, yes, Devin Booker is your best player, but it shouldn't make that much of a difference. You're going to lose to the Pelicans now.
Right, your roster is 150 times better than this team. Yeah, on paper at least.
Because let's look at it. If you didn't have Devin Booker for the whole season, you probably aren't the 1 seed in the West.
Right.
Which you're probably no worse than a 5 seed. So you're telling me you would still be losing to So I can't. There's no way that I could defend this even without having Devin Booker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to agree with that because I don't think the Suns should never have got the series. I mean, this should have been a sweep.
Larry Nance is putting some valuable minutes out there too.
Yeah,
from watching the game.
Another Laker.
He's a scrapper. All the Lakers players are flourishing right now.
All comes back.
It all comes back to the Lakers. But yeah, he had the one. I think he had back-to-back games where he had 11 plus rebounds. Then game 2 and 3.
He had 5 last night.
Yeah, so he was struggling last night, but
but
he's in there. He's scrapping.
You know, I think this is just another case of hope. I mean, honestly, I would like to see it go 7 just because I like parity, but I think it's just another case where talent might take over at some point. We've seen Chris Paul literally take the game over in this series already. I mean, he went on an 18-0 run by himself. So I think at some point it's just going to happen. The Pelicans are coached very well. They have a lot of young guys that really can ball, that are very good. And they have, BI's been around. CJ McCollum's been around. Jonas Valanciunas has been around. He's been in deep playoff runs before. So they it's not like they don't have the experience and the guys to do what they need to do. It's just I think their talent is just a little bit less than what the Suns have. But I could be wrong.
The longer that any series the Suns are in, is going to be awful for them because Chris Paul is a guy that's proven he cannot stay healthy for a long period of time. So they needed this to be a 4 or 5 game series.
He looked exhausted.
They needed the next one to be a 4 or 5 game series. Like they needed to not be playing 6+ games to the conference finals.
Yeah.
This is going to, like, even if they win this might end in the long term being a loss for them.
That's a great point.
Back, they're putting a lot of miles on Chris Paul's body.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's what I'm saying. It's only a matter of time.
Because there's no Booker. Like, at least if you have Booker,
you can
bench Paul more. But now you have to have him out there.
And I would like to see a little something out of Sixth Man of the Year candidate Cam Johnson, or Cam. Is it Johnson or Thomas?
Johnson.
That's Johnson. Yeah, Thomas is the Nets. He's not doing anything. So I think you get a guy like that who comes off the bench and takes Booker's points over, and now he's starting. He's struggling starting, so maybe what you do is you put him back on the bench and have him come back off his regular role. See if that helps him get back, the mental back. But that's a guy that can win you the series if given the right time. So, and also we got a guy on the roster who's looking for a supermax contract in DeAndre Ayton, and who's getting fucking eaten alive by Jonas Valanciunas. Mm-hmm. I mean, Ayton ate his lunch a little bit for the first couple games, but now Valanciunas is just like, yeah, I'm gonna go and grab 27 rebounds tonight.
We all know about DeAndre Ayton in this podcast. We've all been burned by him before.
Bum.
He may be one of the reasons why Lawrence Elliott quit gambling.
Wait, he quit? When?
Oh, Lawrence is back gambling, by the way.
He's back, baby.
He's back. Back like he left his keys.
Got them motherfuckers for something nice last night. Smoking off FanDuel pack.
Couldn't even send your boys a heads up or anything. Like, yo, this is what I'm playing tonight.
Nah, man. I had to go to.
But was quick to say, "Oh look what I hit."
Yeah.
Bro, listen, man. I'm back a little bit. After tonight, if they get me, I might have to go. I might have to dip out. You feel me?
He's back. He's gone again.
He pulled a Tom Brady on us. Basically.
He's gone. He's gone. He's in. He's out.
He did us pull the Tom Brady.
Oh man, y'all funny as hell.
All right, let's get into it.
The next, you want to go to it?
Yeah, let's just get into it.
We still got other series. We can save it for last.
Let's just get into it.
All right, man.
Let's just talk about it. Listen, I got a couple words I gotta say.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I don't understand how any athlete can sit on a bench and watch their team get beat like Ben Simmons just did and not even attempt to play a game.
Not dust off the shoes and say,
how do you not? I don't care about okay, everybody has mental problems. All right, it's 2022. Everybody is depressed or has anxiety or everything, okay? You are a grown-ass man in the NBA getting paid millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to go and do exactly what you didn't do, play basketball. He straight up did not play basketball this year. Didn't a whole year of not playing basketball, and had a chance to come back on a very important game for the team, and just didn't play. Wasn't even on the bench for his team. Looking back at now, if you were going to tell me that we would not have Ben Simmons this year after having that trade, I said the Nets won the trade, right? Because you got Seth Curry, who played great this year. You got Andre Drummond, he definitely lost something, but he's still good. He's still a valuable asset. And you got Ben Simmons plus first round picks, right? The Nets won that trade, if you ask me. But if you come back now, hindsight, and say, oh, Ben Simmons isn't going to play a single fucking game the rest of the year, I'm going to say, don't make the fucking trade. You don't make that trade then. At least you have some semblance of a team that can you have a roster. You have somebody that can take the heat off of KD or Kyrie. And instead, you have to rely on Bruce Brown. If you don't have Bruce Brown, that game, I mean, you're getting swept, but it's 20-point sweeps. Like, you're going to lose by 20 every night if you don't have Bruce Brown in this series, right? And
absolutely.
And on top of it all, you have Kevin Durant, who we all love, who we all know is one of the greatest players of all time, who's one of the greatest scorers of all time. And
Vicente said, he said Warriors and Phillies to the chip. Nets won the trade too.
Right. Yeah,
Go ahead. My fault.
Fuck. So Kevin Durant, right? You come out here,
one of the best players in the league, yeah.
And you come out and it's so baffling to me. It's so baffling to me that you can play and perform the way that you just did in a 4-game series against a team that has inferior players to you. I don't care what it says. Sure, Jason Tatum's good. Sure, Jaylen Brown is good. Okay, Marcus Smart is Marcus Smart. But if take those guys out of it, you have Kyrie Irving and you have Kevin Durant. That's one of the best duos in the league. That you have to win a fucking game with those two guys on your team. You have to win a game. But you can't if Kevin Durant is going to come out and average 20 points a game with 7 turnovers, shooting 40% from the field. You cannot win a game like that. So do you break it up? What happens here? Steve Nash, gone. Get him the fuck out. Get him out of Brooklyn. Take those fucking brooms and sweep him out of Brooklyn, okay? Get his ass out. I've never seen... there is no reason on God's green earth why LaMarcus Aldridge didn't play a minute. There is no reason why... There is no reason why Blake Griffin didn't play till Game 3 when we saw Blake Griffin give valuable minutes in the Bucks series last year. He scored so many threes for us, clutch threes, clutch baskets, played great defense last year. There's no reason why he didn't play this year. I can't even think of a single reason. Injury, nothing. He did DNPs, coach's decision. There's no reason for it. And his lineups were not good. Seth Curry and Bruce Brown, they shouldn't be on the court together. You have to separate them. Kevin Durant, regardless, the series comes down to Kevin Durant played like ass. And if this was LeBron James, the media would have never, ever, ever let this go. LeBron James swept. LeBron James averaged 20 points, 48 turnovers a game. Never.
Didn't score in the second half twice?
Didn't 2 times. Two times. Okay? The Nets were up by 20 points at halftime against the Celtics in the TD Garden. And then they score 8 points in the fourth quarter, and Kevin Durant doesn't score. LeBron James would never. LeBron James would fucking never let that shit happen.
Remember when we were told how passive LeBron James was?
Yeah.
I didn't hear one person say Kevin Durant was passive, and he took no shots in the whole second half.
One of the most, the Slim Reaper, one of the most scary players of all time, best scorer. Okay, but now.
Lawrence, say something.
But also I will give credit to the Celtics defense. They played him unlike I've ever seen a defense play him before. The Bucks did it a little bit last year, but they couldn't get away with it. They fouled they were calling fouls on him. They were calling body fouls on Kevin Durant last year in that series that they did not call in the Celtics series. They were all up on him, and they did not call a single foul. And when I talked to Phil, and I said, Phil, not this fake Phil, the real Phil. When I talked to the real Phil and said, yo, how can these refs, he's like, listen, we're talking about it, and we don't understand how the refs are allowing these body calls, these hand checks and everything go. Like, these are fouls that didn't get called. So they played defense the way they were allowed to, and I think it threw him off his game completely. All right, we saw it game 2. They beat his ass, and it wasn't the same since. So
he was missing open shots.
Yeah,
He was so
I think he was hesitant because he was looking for, as we heard in NFL, I'm seeing ghosts. I think he was seeing ghosts.
He was hearing footsteps. Like he would catch the ball open. He was like, "Oh, I better hurry up and get this up before someone comes and punches."
Right. I mean, the game that sticks in my mind is that game where we're up 20, and we lose that game. You cannot lose that game. All right, you just can't. And then you're up 5 in game 1. I knew it was going to be a long series after game 1 when Kevin Durant just shut down in the fourth quarter. That was game 1. That was game 1, and he's fucking standing like, what, bro? Mark your man. Like, what are you doing? Just go find Jason Tatum and you have to let somebody else beat you there. Let Marcus Smart shoot the 3 ball. Just let him.
Right.
Just let him shoot that.
I can live with losing on a 3-pointer from Marcus
100%.
But I can't live on an open layup from Jason Tatum.
LeBron missed the playoffs this year. Okay? LeBron missed the playoffs this year because he played 2v2 basketball with him and Russell Westbrook this year.
This is 20th season. Expectations for this man has to lower or disappear at one time.
After this year, I don't want to ever hear Kevin Durant is the greatest basketball player in the world ever again in my life. I don't ever want to hear it again.
Kevin Durant has been my favorite player, and I will never say he is better than LeBron.
He's not. And LeBron James,
at any point,
say what you will about LeBron James, but he went to 10 straight finals. Okay? He has never gotten swept. He's never lost the first round.
With the island of misfit toys.
Yeah, and look at his rosters. Now, granted, the Nets roster this year going into the playoffs was not the best. They were a 7 seed for a reason, okay? They lost James Harden. Kyrie played 20% of the games this year. KD was hurt. They relied a lot. I mean, it was a G League team for most of the year, okay? And when they got into the playoffs, they looked like a 7 seed. I mean, Nicholas Claxton was 15% from the free throw line, missed clutch free throws constantly. Andre Drummond, like I said, Andre Drummond was decent, but you expect more off a guy who averaged 20-20 almost for one season. And Seth Curry's too passive for me. Seth Curry needs to be a spot up shooter. He needs to catch the ball and shoot. Do what you do. I need like a Reggie Bullock type player off him. Just do what you do. Catch the ball and shoot. But Kyrie had 10 points in one game and didn't score in the fourth quarter. Like, Kyrie just got shut down too. It was just a bad series all around. If there was any team in the playoffs that deserved to get swept, it was them. They blew a 5-point lead in game 1, let off a buzzer beater. They blew a 20-point lead in game 2, and they lost that game. Game 3 was, I don't even know what the fuck happened in game 3. They looked like they didn't even belong out there. And then game 4, they were so, I think what happened in game 4 is everybody was so excited they were going to get Ben Simmons. Oh, we got help. And then that day it's like, yeah, Ben Simmons ain't coming. Not only is Ben Simmons not playing, Ben Simmons isn't even going to be on the fucking stadium. He's not even coming to the arena tonight.
But listen, he the freshest out there,
Yeah, fuck him.
His outfits were fire though.
Wait, what they said? They said he had sheepskin on or something. Lamb. That's
he needs to do something about it. And now Nets owners and ownership are calling his agent in because they want to talk about the future, like what's going on, and he's saying I've got a mental block from anxiety, that's causing a back pain and shit like that.
He said that his mental issues of like dealing with the pressure playing basketball are causing his back issues.
Yeah.
Which, if that's true, like that's
don't play basketball anymore.
Say, but, like,
you have to retire. Yes.
I understand like mental health is definitely serious, but
right.
You have to disclose this stuff too. Like you can't just leave everyone in the dark and then after it's over say, "Oh yeah, but it's not my fault."
Right. Something has to be done. You cannot. You can't just rob people. Like you're literally robbing people as we speak.
No, but like for example, like Calvin Ridley with the Pelicans, but he came out and said, "Yo, I can't play this year because I got mental health issues." All right, cool. Thank you for letting us know.
Right,
like,
and then you give your team false hope too. Like you don't think KD and Kyrie were probably pumped up to come play Game 4 with Ben Simmons and have him out there, even if it was for 20 minutes, But like I said, I think a lot of it comes down to Steve Nash too. I mean, Steve Nash, he had a good year last year, but this year,
Terrible management minutes.
very, very, very bad management of minutes. Very bad management of rotations, utilization of players, play calling. I have no, like I said in the little rant, I just do not understand why Blake Griffin didn't get any minutes or LaMarcus Aldridge didn't get any minutes. Like
I would have.
Bro, let me say something, bro. And in the game the other night, like I literally at one point it was KD and 4 fucking point guards on the court.
yes, the Nets don't have any size though. That's another thing.
They have Patty Mills, Kyrie, Bruce Brown, and Dragic and KD. What?
Yeah, it was not good.
What are you doing? You want to lose.
When they hired Steve Nash, everyone loved him. There were some people though that were like, "Why would you do this? Like, he's not a proven coach. You're a ready to win now team. Why'd you bring him in?" Everyone defended it though. No, he's a great basketball mind. He's been around the game. He's done.
He's one of the best point guards.
It's not really like if I had a championship caliber team, I'm not bringing out an experimental head coach, and that's what they did was bring out an experiment.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And Vicente also, I agree. I think Cam Thomas needed minutes.
I was wondering where he was.
Cam Thomas
I did not
needed
see it at all.
minutes. Cam Thomas needed minutes in the series, man. You needed a guard
don't even suit up.
bro. Why is Kessler Edwards getting minutes over Cam Thomas? Why is Kessler Edwards playing in a playoff basketball game over Cam Thomas, who you drafted to come in the first round to come play basketball? Like
That's a good point too, Vicente. I like that. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, if Utah loses this series, I think obviously they disband that team and it's gonna be fire sale. So,
but do they disband the team only because? Hear me out. I was watching Colin Coward the other day, who I watch a lot, and he made a very valid point. Utah is Utah. Like, what I think, or someone might even put in our group chat. Like, what is Utah like? What are your real expectations there? Like, because you're not LA, you're not Miami.
Yeah, it was Colin Coward. Yeah. I think did I share it?
Yeah,
I think I shared it.
I retweeted it too.
You made a very valid point. Like, you're not going to attract big time talent anyways. So realistically, this is the best you're going to get anyway. So blowing it all up, you're just going to be a bottom feeder in the league. So you should just be content with what happens. And if you happen to pop one year, cool. But blowing it up is probably the worst thing to do.
Well, how old is Mitchell?
28.
Not even 28.
Oh, no way, 28.
25.
Mitchell was a sophomore.
26 at max.
Yeah, Mitchell was a sophomore in college when we were seniors. So that would mean he's 2 years younger. So he's 25, 26.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, he need to get up out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad I didn't put money on the Nets.
Don't sign that contract, my G.
Right,
don't be Dame Lillard.
Did he?
Oh,
there, yeah.
He did.
Had this conversation before.
Damn.
Yeah, he's 26.
Yeah.
He's 26.
Damn, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I can see Boogie in Utah or Brooklyn. Boogie's done in the league. All right, DeMarcus Cousins is fucking toast. Man, he's too old. He's got no body parts left. I mean,
Boogie Cousins is an example of why a guy like Donovan Mitchell takes a deal from Utah and might not ever win. Because Boogie kept betting on himself, and what happened? He blew out his knees twice, and Boogie never got the payday he deserved. So this is why everyone says, "Oh, you got to get out and win," they got to get their bag first, because a guy like Boogie Cousins deserved a max contract and never got it because he kept betting on himself and got hurt on it.
Well, you can also thank George Karl because of that.
Oh yeah.
Phil, what's up, man?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say, if I had money on the Nets, I would be pissed right now. So.
He's dragging it, isn't he?
No, he's not dragging it. He's not dragging it.
Did the cash app come through?
He's not dragging it.
I think Phil's dragging it.
I mean, you would have the same injury if the Nets won.
I wouldn't have 17 brooms in my hands.
This is just the energy you gotta have, like.
Right. I mean,
it is what it is.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, what I said at the beginning of the series, the better team is Boston, and they proved just that. My point exactly. Yes, Kyrie and KD are the best two players in the series, but the better overall team is Boston, from roster up and down, offense, defense, etc., etc. So, I mean, I'm surprised that it was a sweep. I said Celtics in 6 because I thought if you have one of the best skilled duos in the NBA with KD and Kyrie, they'll at least give you 1 or 2. But yeah, sweep was completely unpredictable. I don't care what anyone says. Even Boston fans didn't think it'd be a sweep. So, I'm just happy I get my money, and all the receipts were kept, they were shown, and that's pretty much it. So.
The homebrew approach. I like it. Oh man.
On to the next series.
It's on to the next series.
Y'all smoking that Giannis back next round?
Oh, that's gonna be a lot tougher though.
Yeah, look, I don't even know. Do we even talk about the Bulls and Bucks because that
series is over after tonight.
The Bucks are up by 24 right now.
Yeah, the series. They scored 56 points in 4 quarters of basketball. The Bulls did. So,
bro,
Yeah, no Caruso.
I watched Greek in the first quarter get 19 and 7. He just literally just half back ISO to the rack and won.
The bettor's worst nightmare though. Because they did so well in the first quarter, it's like he ain't gonna play the rest.
Yeah, you know what he finished with in that game? 19 and 8.
Yeah, that's what, like
that was the game where the FanDuel put the boost out for him to score 30 and 10, and he finished with he scored 19 and 7, and everybody's like, "Yo, this is gonna hit," and he scored 19 and 8.
That's the bettor's worst nightmare. Watching him go nuts in the first quarter is like, oh, may as well throw my money out.
Yeah, I mean,
balls are the biggest worst fear.
The fucking Bulls scored 56 points.
Right.
Like, how do you score 56 points with DeMar DeRozan?
And Levine.
And Levine.
Those two lows.
And Vucevic. And Vucevic.
What y'all? So that series a wash. Like I already figured the Bucks. I'm
surprised. I'm surprised it's as washed as it is. To be honest, I really thought the Bulls had the roster to go deep. I thought they had matchup issues all over the place for that team on offense and defense, and I don't know what I don't know. I really, to be honest with you, I don't know what happened. Actually, I do know what happened. Well, and I also do know what happens is another instance of a player that never shows up in the playoffs in DeMar DeRozan. Whoa. He just cannot play in the playoffs. So he
funny as.
He can't. Remember?
He can't.
Oh, he has 7 and 4 right now. Yikes.
Who?
Yeah, he's
DeRozan.
DeRozan is not good in the playoffs.
He's not, and they do need Lonzo. I agree they need Lonzo. Yeah. That's their guy. But even without Lonzo, he's still.
We saw them play enough basketball this year without him, where he wouldn't have made up the difference. Like,
right.
It does hurt not having him. But Jesus, like this is bad.
This is bad. It's bad. Yeah, you can't just get the game can't be over at halftime in the playoffs. I don't care what.
You could lose this series 4-1 and it'd still be okay, but it's the way you're.
You said halftime.
Yeah,
the games are over at halftime.
The game was over at 9 minutes in the second. I was watching it before we started the pod.
No, I'm just talking about the whole series.
Yeah. I'm talking about tonight. That shit was up to 32 points in the second quarter. It was bad while I'm watching. They had like 19 points after the first.
Side note, I mean, this has been like the Bulls' MO the whole year. They've had like good performances. They were like a top 3 team in the East at one point, but they haven't beaten anyone reliable in the whole regular season. They haven't
beat the Bucks in, I think the commentator said, 18 or 19 games. They're getting washed by them.
Yeah, I said this earlier, but they haven't had a lot of quality wins in the regular season. That's the Bulls team.
That's what all these teams get though for at the end of the year. Purposely not trying to win games because they didn't want to be the 2 seed and play in the Nets. That's why I give the Celtics credit. They were the only team that were like, "Screw this, we're gonna keep."
Yeah, we don't care who we play. Yeah.
But all these other teams that were right there were like, "Nah, we don't want to see them in the first round."
We don't want to see them.
Now look at you.
He said, "Now look at you."
This Celtics did definitely destroy the Bulls. They were swept the Bulls too, to be honest.
Shit is crazy.
At this rate, the Pelicans would have swept the Bulls.
They play in different conferences, Kenny.
Get my point. I'm just saying everybody to play out.
All right, so listen, man. PTSD against Joker. What's up? Talk to me.
Oh, here's the new nickname? Oh shit.
Yeah. That's what they're calling him.
This series is very intriguing to me. I really feel like if
absolutely, yeah.
I feel like if the Nuggets can get by tonight and actually extend this a little bit, I think they have a chance to push it to 7. To be honest, I agree with Kenny. I think it'll be over tonight. But if the Joker can do what the Joker does and get a little help from Will Barton and Aaron Gordon, I think they can win this game tonight. So I just think the Joker has not been himself this series.
I think Draymond's getting to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to play against the Warriors. Obviously, they've
just been lights out.
Offense, and they've always had one of the best defenses in the league. Steve Kerr just knows how to coach basketball. He knows how to coach defense.
And but shout out to their front office too. They just know how to draft players.
Yeah, they draft
like
great.
Jordan Poole, like I mean, I watched him in college. I knew he was going to be good, but like most, I didn't think.
And not just draft Kenny, but produce and elevate talent.
Develop him. That's like a guy like a Draymond Green, who again was great in college, but everyone, his game won't translate to the NBA. Well, we'll take him. We'll develop him.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole, same thing. Well, he won't translate. Okay, we'll take him and develop him. Klay Thompson, well, maybe you overdrafted him. That's like Moses Moody and James Wiseman and Kuminga. That people are, they're going to be good. But how great are they? With this team, they're going to be phenomenal. I don't care.
Yeah, and I mean they have one of the best G League teams in the organization as well. Right. They have a great coach down there. They have a great developmental process down there as well. The Warriors are. If I'm in the Western Conference playoffs right now, I don't want to play this team.
I'd be scared.
I mean, if I'm in the West, I just don't.
It's that's coming off the bench too. It's wild.
They're almost like, if you think about it, like a new age version of what the Spurs were like for our high school years, where like it didn't matter who it was, they just kept bringing in guys and producing because like we've seen this Warriors team evolve since they won their first title, and they're still title contenders. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, but they're a lot flashier though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right, it's a new age version of them. Like,
yeah.
But like it doesn't, like Steph is out. Okay, Jordan Poole's gonna go nuts. Oh, Klay Thompson can't play for half the season. That's fine. We got 75 guys on the bench that can do it. It's insane.
Right.
And they had a very quiet, good offseason as well. Otto Porter, Andrew Wiggins, guys that will continue to just produce good numbers for you. They're not going to win you basketball games. They're probably not going to lose you basketball games either.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're solid too.
Who?
Belicio, they're powerful.
Oh yeah.
Former Kings.
He gives valuable minutes.
And Kuminga, another guy they drafted, right?
He rarely played this series.
Like think about all these guys they draft to everyone. Oh, they probably overdrafted them. No, they know what they're doing. They're just not. They're not going to draft just because the guys there are going to draft based off of need.
They're gonna right. And I would love to know what Nuggets fans think about the series. I know they thought this should go better than 3-1. I thought it was going to go better than 3-1. But the Warriors are a lot, and they have a ton of playoff experience, coaching experience, player experience, all of it. They know how to play series. They know how to pace themselves through games. So I can't blame them for losing. Also, you can see what happens in the playoffs to teams that don't have help for their superstar.
Last year too. Like the Warriors, they didn't make a deep run, but they at least got to the play-in. Like, I think that was very valuable for the young players, like Jordan Poole that was on that team that never been in the NBA before. Like, so these are things like you said, they have the experienced guys, but even their young guys have had experience now in the big moments.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for them. It's tough for the Nuggets, at least. Obviously missing their star point guard is definitely a.
Yeah, I think that was a nut shot to them when they heard that Jamal Murray and Michael Porter weren't coming back. I think that was like the kill shot for them.
Yeah.
It's like you said,
Jalen Green for MVP.
How like KD and Kyrie would probably play Ben Simmons. Like Joker was probably like, yes, I get my boys back, and then like, oh no, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
With the way this award system is, I wouldn't doubt Jalen Green for MVP. But hey.
Who you getting a shot at? Who's getting a shot? He said the way the award system works out.
Just John Morant when most improved after being rookie of the year last year.
But he was very improved. I'm glad you brought that up actually.
It's absolute fucking. He is not the most improved player in the NBA. He's an MVP candidate.
Wait. So, but was he an MVP candidate last year?
No.
Was Jordan Poole averaging 20? Was Jordan Poole averaging 25 a game last year?
He wasn't an MVP candidate last year. Okay. Well, he must have made the All-Star team. Oh no, he didn't even make the All-Star team last year. But now he's an MVP candidate.
You cannot sit here and tell me you think John Morant should have won Most Improved Player over Jordan Poole. There's just no way.
I'm not saying that he should, but to say that it's flawed that he didn't even deserve consideration, like. Well, you're acting like
he doesn't deserve consideration.
Because he was so good this year, it should just knock him out of it.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I believe Darius Garland should deserve consideration as well, because he went from being one of the worst players statistically in the year last year to being
literally statistically, Darius Garland was the worst basketball player per minute last year. Darius Garland was. And this year, average a double-double, was an all-star, brought his team to the playoffs almost.
I hear you, but I just think that your argument that John Morant was because he was an MVP candidate, he shouldn't be an. That's ridiculous. He was improved. Last year he wasn't an MVP candidate. He wasn't even an All-Star. This year's that doesn't tell you that the player improved. I don't know what does.
I think a most improved player is somebody that jumps their average by 20 points in a game or in a season. I mean, in Jordan Poole, or a guy that was playing in a two-way contract last year, who is now as a premier point guard in the league now.
He was buried he was buried on the bench in the middle of the season too.
I disagree. I'm just saying, let's not act like Ja wasn't very improved.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think it's the main reason, but I mean, we can all agree the whole voting system and the award system is flawed. I'm saying that's just one of the reasons why.
Ja's been on, like, the leap has been crazy, bro. It's outrageous. So,
right, I think he even said. Didn't he say Desmond Bain deserved it over him?
He gave his award to Desmond Bain.
Yeah,
he sent it to his house and gave it to him.
I've been Ja train for a long time. I told everyone he was better than Zion, so it's okay. I'm just glad that I'm justified.
All right, so Grizzlies and the Timberwolves, man. It's been a chippy series. We in my house now, in Minnesota, and all this dumb shit.
We in Minnesota now.
So what y'all think of the series?
Honestly, it's one of the most entertaining basketball series I've ever watched, and I love it. Everywhere from the chippiness to the dads to the fucking fans continuing to jump on the fucking court.
To Carl Anthony Towns changing his voice.
Yeah.
To
just Patrick Beverly, who's just literally comedy every time he touches the basketball court. Like, I love this series so much. I don't want it to end. I love this series. I don't think that there should be a loser. I think both these teams are going to lose in the next round either way, especially the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies run into a veteran team, they're going to get smoked.
Who are they playing?
I don't know who would they play?
The Jazz or Mavs, so they don't actually have to play it.
There you go. So they might actually win that then.
If they go to the conference finals.
Yeah. So I love the series, man. I love it. The Grizzlies are doing a lot worse than I thought, and the Timberwolves are doing a lot better than I thought. I said the Grizzlies had a chance to go all the way, but after watching this series here, I just completely am wrong about that statement because this team is not ready to go anywhere.
But think about that statement, though. You might not be wrong because if they get the Mavs or Jazz next round, they could beat them. And then who's to say that we just talked about Phoenix maybe not getting there? I mean, they'd have to team up with the Warriors at that point, but then it'd be conference finals. Like that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean I agree, but I it's they're not giving me any hope.
Right.
They're not giving me any hope watching this series. That's what I mean. You know, this series should have been over. This shit should have been over. Yeah, at 5. I mean, the Grizzlies or the Timberwolves have talent. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Ant-Man's very good. Karl Anthony Towns is. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him, but he's hot and cold. But he should be averaging 33 and 14, right? Like the Grizzlies can't play Steven Adams because he can't play this. He literally can't play in the series. And you got Jaren Jackson who's can't play either. Like the coach can't put him out there because his plus minus this series is awful. But Cat can't capitalize on it. So it's like what the fuck?
So Brandon Clark has been having a good series as well.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty good too.
This is not my problem with Cat though. Since he's gotten the league, like
he's soft. He's soft.
He's soft. That's the problem.
Yeah,
like
he's soft. He's soft. I think he realizes how soft he is now.
Yeah.
I think they've never gotten the national televised love and hate like they've gotten now, right? Like this is big time TV. You got Ja Morant. You got Anthony Edwards is Showtime. Mm-hmm. And they're getting a lot of NBA on TNT. They're getting Twitter love and hate. So now Cat's probably going to take a long look in the mirror and say, "All right, I got to nut up because I'm a little bitch."
We noticed it when he tried to change his voice in the
post. Yeah, exactly, right.
And then he tried to talk like he was Kobe.
Yeah, we noticed it against Cousins.
I'm like, Cat, you don't shut up. Like I know his throat was hurting when he went back in the locker room talking like that.
Yeah, y'all are too much, man.
Should I add some bass?
Yeah, but I mean, to who I picked to win this series, obviously I picked the Grizzlies early, but now I just don't know now, right? Like I really don't know.
This shit is over with.
You think so?
I think it might go
is over
7.
with.
I mean, they almost just lost again. If the Timberwolves had any idea on how to play defense and just not let Anthony Edwards go for that steal, I mean,
Literally most of the Wizards had to come back.
the game's over. They had to rely on a stupid defensive play and a John Morant buzzer beater to beat them.
Wait, were all 3 of the
Well,
Wizards
John
come back or no?
Morant went for 20 points in the fourth quarter, I believe.
Yeah, because they're down by so much.
Yeah, they were down by 20 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure either 2 out of the 3 ones were comeback wins, which is wild.
Hey, man.
They can't keep doing that. If they do that in the playoffs,
Yeah, they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. They won't be able to do that against the Timberwolves. Imagine if they do that against a team that can actually hold a lead, like the Mavs. The Mavs or the Jazz. If they do that against either of those teams, they're in deep trouble. Especially the Mavericks. The Mavericks are looking really good.
Yeah, the Mavs are looking good. So we're going to go. That's the last series.
The Magic.
Mavs and Jazz, man.
Just
I got the Mavs in this one. It's plain and simple.
In 6 or 7? Okay.
No, this is over. This is over with.
Oh, Mavs 6?
Yeah, this is over with.
It's
too much.
I agree with Lawrence.
It's too much going on.
I agree with Lawrence.
They struggled. You got Jalen Brunson dropping 45 on your head,
Mitchell's
and
injured,
then Luka comes back and he's still dropping 25. You got a problem.
Big problem.
Like you got Spencer Dinwiddie when Luka's off the floor, he's basically facilitating, grabbing rebounds. So it's tough.
Big problem.
Also, what's Donovan Mitchell's injury? Hamstring? I think.
Yeah, hamstring late in the game or something like that, or quad.
He's playing. It doesn't matter. He's playing.
Yeah, he played terrible.
Yeah, I agree with Lawrence. I think the Mavs finish this game off next game. Another first round exit for the Jazz. I think yeah, I agree with what Colin Cowherd said and all that shit. But at some point, it gets enough is enough. You got to offload something. Fire Quinn Snyder, get rid of Rudy Gobert. Something's got to happen.
That's what I'm firing Quinn Snyder, and if anything, I'm moving Rudy. Like I'm not blowing up the point to get rid of Donovan Mitchell. Like because I'm not.
Yeah, no, you got if you're gonna exactly if you're gonna keep. If you want to have any chance of winning anything in Utah, you have to keep Donovan Mitchell because you need some attraction, right? Like you have to keep some sort of attraction for people to want to come there. They're not people aren't coming there to play with Rudy Gobert.
Look at OKC. They thought, we'll blow this thing up. They got rid of everybody to bring in SGA, which yes, SGA is good, but you ain't getting no free agent to come to OKC to play with SGA.
Oh, you got Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey too.
Okay,
it's a TikTok.
Who are they going to bring in free agent? Says, you got Josh Giddey, SGA. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to OKC. Not happening.
And it's in OKC. That's the other thing.
That's right. So Utah is not far off.
Right.
It's almost the same boat. So no, you got to keep Donovan Mitchell.
Send Rudy to Brooklyn.
But even no one picks up an NBA.
He said,
Even Ben Simmons.
He said, take him.
Yeah, wait. Also, I think how do we feel about Rudy Gobert and DeAndre Ayton trade? That's
like a swap.
A couple times. Yeah.
I mean, that's a terrible trade for the Suns.
Yeah, I think it's idiotic.
Great trade for the Mavs.
If I'm Utah,
great trade for Utah. Yeah.
That's instant offense.
Instant defense.
And you become an even bigger free agent destination now.
Right, because now you have a guy with more traction.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, please, if I'm Donovan Mitchell, I'm throwing this game tomorrow to say that's it. We need DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
I mean the Mavs, bro. Finney-Smith, Bullock, like
they're deep too. Like their bench is very good. Jalen Brunson, man. Jalen Brunson just needed an opportunity, right? Like he just needed the minutes to do what he's doing.
Do y'all see what he's doing to Mike Conley?
Well, I mean, it's Mike Conley's 35, right?
But like he's little boy, bro. He's little boy in him, like.
But that's Jalen Brunson's game, right? Like he's a fucking pit bull. Like that's what he does.
That game got so bad. I think the last game, Boban came out. That's how bad it was.
Bro, I don't know why doesn't Boban get any minutes?
He's like 7'10". Like
yeah, he dunks on his tippy toes.
5 minutes.
Right, just let him go grab you 10 rebounds.
Like if he played 5 minutes, he'd average 10 boards
easily.
Probably because those commercials with the rings.
Why do we have co-stars if nobody's going to use them? I absolutely love that commercial.
Yeah, but I'll probably say Mavs in 6. I think this is over next.
Yeah, I think it's over.
In the future, watch out for the Mavs now as a free agent destination because Dallas is a big market. Now
Mark Cuban.
Luka can do it.
Mark Cuban
is not afraid to spend money.
Dirk Nowitzki as an advisor.
There's no
And
taxes
listen.
in the state of Texas. Watch Dallas.
Not
is
to
gonna become
mention-
a free agent destination.
Not to mention Tim Hardaway is hurt.
Well, right, and the
Danger.
thing is, other than Luka, who are they paying?
Nobody.
they have-
They're going Jalen Brunson after this year.
Yeah, they're
Right.
gonna have if they want to keep
I think
him.
Dinwiddie's the next highest
I hear
paid.
you, but
Maybe.
if I got a choice of getting Jalen Brunson or if another superstar becomes available, buy Jalen.
Damn,
Thanks for
that's
your
tough.
service.
That's
I
tough.
hear you,
tough.
but
It's
That's
a business.
tough.
After what he just did, he's
That's
like,
tough.
I just hoop. He's just like,
I'm just
hoop.
hooping. Like, come
Like,
on. Like, that's tough. Bro.
I got 40 with the
That's what I'm
superstar off the on
right,
the bench.
right.
That's
You score
crazy.
50 over
Like
there.
Joe just said, it's a business.
He said it's a business.
That's tough.
You can score 45 on that team.
He said we don't care.
We do not care.
That revenge game is
Don't
going to
make
be
a trade for
fire.
Brad Beal.
And I think the playoffs right. I think the playoffs right now are really good.
I was gonna.
I'm
I was gonna
enjoying
say
it.
just like a generalization over every all the series. Obviously, being a Nets fan, it sucks. Take out the Heat Hawks series, which did have some good games, but other than that, every other series is good, right? Like we only have one sweep. Everything else is going 7 or 6 or 5. It's good so far.
Even though the Nets and Celtics was a sweep, though, like there were
Still
a lot
good
of
games.
in it, like
Yeah.
Like yes, the Nets didn't win a game, but they
Yeah,
lost
like we got a
the
buzzer beater.
like-
Yeah. We got a buzzer beater. We got
Game 4, the ending was exciting. Yeah. I think the ending was exciting.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a good series all around. Obviously, fuck that series, but whatever. I still, I'm still relishing in the Super Bowl.
We hear you.
Wait, also, what do you think about the inside the NBA and KD drama?
I didn't even see
but
it.
all I know is
Yeah.
KD's got drama with everybody.
I listen.
At
That's
some point, nut up. Like,
I don't really care about the. I think the drama is just funny in general. But
Hilarious,
I'll tell you what, bro. That NBA on TNT is the best show of all time.
Oh my
It is.
goodness.
I just
Bro,
wish
it
it was
is-
like. I wish it was just like on TV, even in the off season. Like I would
Yes.
watch Chuck and Shaq go at it.
I wish it was uncensored. Just uncensor it. I don't
We
let
gotta,
them
like, call
curse.
HBO and just let them.
Right.
Long story short, inside the NBA crew was criticizing Kevin Durant for the series. How he played the Celtics. Fair enough. And then they said he was never the best. They said he was never the best driver, like AKA. They were talking about how he joined the Warriors. He was never the
Yeah.
He was the best rider.
Basically, saying
Yeah.
he's a bandwagon player. He goes
He's a
wherever.
Robin, not a Batman. And guess what? He's done nothing to prove that that's not true. Because when
Yeah,
he was
and-
in OKC and he was Batman, couldn't win. He went to Golden State and he was Robin and he won. And
Right.
he was in Brooklyn and he's Batman and he can't win.
Right.
So
So
until
he.
you win as Batman, I don't have to tell you, Robin.
So he.
Yeah, and then-
So he basically he posted on Instagram Charles Barkley playing with the 76ers. I think it was right.
Yeah.
Was it the
With
Sixers?
The Sixers.
No,
It was the Sixers.
Was it the Sixers or Trailblazers?
It was the old. It was
With
the really
Clyde.
old. Yeah. No, Rockets. Sorry. It was the Rockets. One photo. No, 2 photos because the old Rockets was.
And then the Sixers, right?
Drexler, Pippen, when they were older, and then the Sixers when he was young.
With-
When he was a young guy.
Yeah,
all
and
the
he was
older
playing
players.
with Dr. J
Yeah.
and all them.
When they were all old.
Yeah.
So, kind of a bad example, but
And then Charles comes in. Charles comes in to NBA and TNT in a bus and with like a bus driver's cap on and shit. That was
and then they leave in a bus.
But
Yeah.
that's a terrible comparison to make for KD because Chuck doesn't have a ring anyway. So like,
Right.
no one is.
Why
so
you
if,
even-
If you're comparing yourself to Chuck,
Right.
Like that, you're already telling me what you think of
Right.
yourself. So
Right.
And everyone on that Rockets team was old as hell, and then when Chuck
Well,
was a
like,
rookie,
listen,
young
if you're-
Sixers, they were old as hell.
If you're KD in that situation, bro, you take a picture of yourself sitting on your couch with your 3 rings. That's all you do. 2 rings?
2 rings.
2 rings. You just take a picture of yourself going like this. Fuck the haters with your 2 rings on.
Right,
And-
like,
and then
like,
I
when,
think-
like when Shaq argues with him. Shaq
Funny
don't
as
even
hell.
he just goes, "How many rings you got, Chuck?" Oh, okay. Chuck.
Yeah.
That's how you win the argument with Shaq.
Right. That's just, like yes,
Yeah.
Chuck, you're a Hall of Famer. You're a great basketball player. It's a shame you never got a ring, but that's always gonna haunt you.
Yeah, I think also one of the things was gonna say. I think one of the well-known Twitter accounts. I think Rob Perez, his name was. he said the biggest mistake KD made was saying that shit in the morning.
Yeah, and let NBA TNT sit on it.
All the producers and all the graphics for everyone that went there just actually destroyed them.
Right.
I mean, just the KD losing this round, though, like I said to you guys, this for KD, unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunate for me because he's never going to be able to live down that the Warriors' titles have asterisks next to them now. Because when you've had a chance to go without them, you failed miserably.
Yep. He was up 3-1.
Yeah,
Lawrence, what do you think?
He won with the Monstars. He needed to join the Monstars to win a ring.
For me, I was gonna say I already had talked to you guys about this, but like he obviously went over there. A lot of people, you're a super talent, and people don't want to see you join up with other super talents. They want you to be on your own.
No. People don't want to see you join the team that beat you because you can't beat them.
We basically said the same thing.
No, we didn't.
That's the same thing.
Because if you would have played with LeBron, I wouldn't have said that was a weak move.
It's different, Lawrence, because he lost 3-1 to the team that he joined.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It'd be like
I think it'll be the same thing.
Let me ask you a question. If when Steph Curry blew a 3-1 lead to LeBron, if that offseason he said, I'm going to play with Cleveland, would you not say that's weak? Why would you do that? Would we not be bashing Steph Curry?
Wait, also side note before you answer.
No, Steph Curry could do no wrong.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying.
That's the only bad comparison.
But,
you can't say Steph Curry. He can literally do enough. No, he literally threw his mouthpiece at a person, and does anybody even remember that? No. If LeBron James threw his mouthpiece at somebody, that motherfucker, that shit would be on loop.
Side note, that team could go 73-9, the best record in NBA history regular season wise.
That's the other thing, yeah.
Right.
He was up 3-1, blew that series, and then said, I'm going to join statistically the best team in basketball history.
Of all time. Yeah.
He said, listen.
They didn't win the ring that
this
year.
This is what he said. He said, I lost.
Part two.
He said, I lost it against LeBron. He said, I just lost against him 3-1. I'm going to go get a championship somehow. And he did the most foul thing in sports history.
He was on the playground.
It is what it is.
Every day. And instead of going and getting his cousins, he said, I'm going to go join up with the bully and beat up the kindergartners.
I mean, you guys, you know the famous saying, if you can't beat them, join them. And he did it.
Yeah, and
also a very famous tweet he said, everyone joined the Lakers and Heat instead of playing against them. What's up with competition?
Hello.
Things change. You grow as you get older. As you get older, you start realizing, yo, this shit hard. Like,
I want to retire in OKC.
I don't think it's hard.
No bullshit though, bro. This is what I think really probably went through his head. He hasn't really even said what happened. They asked him the question, and he bullshitted the whole thing.
He just won't talk about that. He won't talk about it.
What I think it was, he did not want to go down in his career
as being winless,
as winless and never winning. Yeah. And he went and said, "I'm gonna solidify it, and I'm gonna go play with them."
That's probably fine if you don't do it in the prime of your career. You know, like I think that's also the problem too. At the time he did it, he was
KD was that. KD was the truth at that point.
He was the Ranchula.
Yeah, like you did it when you were the second best basketball player in the world.
I mean, he literally almost. I mean, he was up 3-1 against the best team ever.
Right.
He was up 3. I mean, he could have. And that's the other thing. It's like, how do you not run that shit back with that squad and say, yo, we had a chance of doing this? Like, it just shows give up. You know, it shows no heart. It shows, no pride. Like, yo, boy, like rally the troops in the locker room and fucking say, let's run this shit back, man. We almost had this, but no, he's like, he was like, yo, Russ, fuck you, I'm out of here.
I'm not good enough to beat them. That's what he said. I'm not good enough to beat this team.
And not only am I not good enough to beat this team, but we're not good enough to beat this team.
Bro, he took his destiny in his own hands. He took his destiny in his own hands.
It's my turn to win.
When you look at the history books, he's gonna be a 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP. That's all he cared about.
There are 30 teams in the NBA.
That's a fact.
He played for the Thunder, so he wasn't going back to them. So that makes it now 29 teams.
The Celtics were
There were 28 teams he could have gone to that I would not have cared about. He went to the one team that he couldn't go to.
Right. Oh, man.
That's
Listen,
actually
man.
true. Kenny, that's actually true.
Kyrie could have ended up. He could have teamed up with Kyrie in Boston.
But let's
It's that simple.
listen. To finish out the night.
He had a chance. They were finalists against the Warriors. It was the Warriors and the Celtics. He did an interview.
Listen, man.
They ain't never going to that bullshit ass team.
Right. But now, listen. Let's wrap up.
Speaking of bullshit ass team.
Let's wrap up and talk about. We can brush over the draft tomorrow. There's a lot of talent in that.
I will be staying out of this conversation because one.
What does it matter, right?
I don't have any draft picks. I will say this: the
First round.
the Rams are pursuing Tyrann Mathieu and Akeem Hicks. They're looking to sign them after the draft. So.
Yo, Akeem Hicks, come on, bro.
That trailer was fire as hell, though.
And we sure we didn't have any picks, but we dropped the hottest trailer of 2022 on them motherfucking ass.
That was nice.
Oh man, listen, man. Yo, Kenny,
minute news coming out.
what's up?
I think that Treylon Walker is actually going to be the number one pick tomorrow.
I saw that he is now the favorite to be the number one pick.
That's why I said that.
I looked at that was updated right before our podcast tonight. They've all switched to Walker being the number one pick, which is the same thing that happened with Baker years ago when everyone was, it's Darnold, it's Darnold, it's Darnold. We heard nothing but Darnold all offseason. Then, like, the day of the draft, it was like, oh, maybe it's Baker now. Maybe it's Baker. Tomorrow, Travon Walker is going number one overall.
Yeah, I think because this is that championship DNA, man. He just won the chip.
I also seen. I mean, just obviously I don't pay attention to the draft because I haven't had a first round draft pick in 8 years. But just some guys that I've been looking on the lookout for. I don't even know their names. I'll say them. Kenny, you can tell me who they are. The edge from Michigan.
David Ojabo, who would have been a top 10 pick.
No, the white boy.
Hutchinson.
Aidan Hutchinson. Yeah, he was one who's supposed to go number one overall.
I was gonna say he had a lot of people looking to bet on him to go number one overall. He had crazy odds. And was he 6'7", like 230 pounds? Like he's gonna be.
Is that the guy that said? I forgot where I saw it. That said someone said that he's even better than the Bosa brothers.
Yeah, well, they're saying he's not going to be better than they're saying why would you draft this guy first round? He's not going to be better than the Bosa brother. Listen, go get this guy. All right, he's gonna do work for you. Just go get him.
Turn the tape on. They're tweaking.
Yeah, turn the tape on.
If I'm Jacksonville, I'm taking Hutchinson number one.
If I'm Detroit, I'm taking Hutchinson.
Well, that's right. Because right now, before the season started, everyone said that it was going to be Kayvon Thibodeaux, the edge rusher from Oregon. Then as the year went on, everyone started watching Hutchinson, and they were like, "Am I on drugs? I'm taking this kid over anybody." And now, as of today, all of a sudden, Travon Walker might have a higher ceiling. I don't know. I'm taking Aidan Hutchinson. To me, he's the safest pick.
And he's just a fucking beast, man.
To me, he's the third Bosa brother. Like he looks on tape. To me, he looks like them.
But he's bigger than them too.
Yeah, but I mean, like his college tape looks like their college tape.
Yeah. Just dominant.
Yeah.
And another guy I had my eye on was I want to say he was the linebacker for Georgia or Alabama. Which one was it?
Georgia has he's like
Georgia guy on the defense.
Anybody from Georgia defense.
You draft any of them, it's a steal. It don't matter. Especially their linebackers.
Where's
I think it was number 8, right? Number 8.
Because he's like a hybrid. He's like a linebacker safety.
Yeah.
It's like C-I-N-E is the last thing I want to say. I can't.
And then Malik Willis, do you think he's gonna? How far down do you think he's gonna drop?
Here's what's nuts about Malik Willis.
Yeah.
You have some teams that have a first round grade on Malik Willis and are willing to trade up for Malik Willis. You have other teams that say, I'm not touching Malik Willis until mid-second round. And that's the same thing for every quarterback in this draft right now. Like Kenny Pickett. Some people have him going as high as the Carolina Panthers.
I think they're trying to psych each other out.
But Kenny Pickett's hands are too small.
Some of these things, like people say, remember last year with Justin Fields, everyone, he can't do this, he can't do that. Meanwhile, you had everybody on the phone trying to trade up for him. It's teams that have low draft picks, a.k.a. like a team like, in my opinion, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I think really want Kenny Pickett, would have the 20th pick of the draft. Well, let's talk a lot of crap about Kenny Pickett. And hopefully we don't have to trade up too much to get him.
Right. Any projections on Olave?
Olave is going to be the wide receiver steal of the draft.
Who do you think's going to get him? I have a idea that Kansas City is going to trade their draft picks for him.
I'm saying that Kansas City's gonna
I want personally. I want New Orleans to get him.
I'm looking
16 or 19. 16 or 19. They gotta
right
get
now
him.
that has him going to New Orleans at 19.
Yeah, pair him up with his Buckeye boy. Feel me?
The mock I always like the most is Peter Traeger's because he is on the phone with guys all the time.
But the receiver class is so good, bro. They're so talented.
Shouldn't you get a fucking quarterback?
Who?
You.
No,
I literally just said we got picked 16 and 19.
Okay.
Are you not listening?
Here's the thing, though. This year is the worst year to need a quarterback.
Yeah, like this is not to go crazy.
None of these guys are coming in and starting.
They're literally the people that are in there. They're projects.
Like honestly, the Pelicans, like we have the 8th pick.
Name a starting quarterback in the past 2 drafts. Besides, name a starting quarterback the past 2 drafts.
Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, all right. Besides Joe Burrow.
All right.
Hold on. Wait.
One just played in the Super Bowl.
Besides Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow was 3 drafts ago, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't. He was 2 drafts ago.
2.
But he tore his ACL that year. That's right. That's why I always think that he's older than he is.
Yeah. Then Trevor Lawrence last year. I mean, Justin Fields, we don't know what we got with him yet, so we can't rule him out yet.
And we don't really know what we got with Trevor Lawrence yet either, to be honest. I mean,
he's in a bad situation.
I'm just saying. I just don't see. Besides Joe Burrow, we got all these high graded guys.
So if that's your case, if these guys were graded high, and these quarterbacks are not graded anywhere near them, then why would I want to cut some of the first round?
I see what you're saying, but maybe you take a risk on a guy that has a lot of upside because
for the Pelicans with the 8th pick, I'm hoping that one of the 3 edge rushers fall to us.
I was gonna say you gotta get defense.
Well, so at the 8th pick, I'm hoping that we can either Hutchinson, Thibodeaux, or Walker fall to us.
You think Hutchinson's gonna fall that far?
No, he won't. But I'm hoping that maybe one of the 3 somehow do.
8?
Yeah, at 8. It's very tough.
But also,
I just hope the Saints don't. They just need to.
If the Pelicans really want a quarterback, if we need to trade back in late to the first round and grab Desmond Ritter because the other ones will probably be gone, or maybe
I like Ritter too.
Because the thing is too with the Pelicans, we know we're not going to compete with the next year or 2. We have Mariota to be a bridge, so if you bring in Ritter, you don't have that pressure of making him have to start immediately.
Do you like Ritter the most?
No, I like Malik Willis the most, but I'm not getting Malik Willis.
I like Malik Willis the most too. Yeah.
But see, like Willis is a guy. If I'm the Pelicans and I can trade back to say 14, and I can draft Willis at 14, and then get another edge in the early 2nd round, I would do that. But I can't take Willis at 8.
Also, is there any steam to Jameson Williams Chiefs thing? Or no, I've been hearing about that.
The Chiefs have 2 first-round draft picks, don't they?
They're going to get one of them.
They're going to go get a receiver.
They knew what they
and
were
I listen. To be honest, I really like Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave the most. The top 2. They're both explosive. Olave didn't play last year, but that don't matter. We already seen what he could do.
You got to look at it like you think that the Chiefs didn't know what they were doing. Like, they didn't get rid of Tyreek Hill and not have a plan. Like, they knew this is the deepest receiver class in a long time.
And I think they're going to go get Jameson.
Right, you're not getting Tyreek Hill. We all know that. But I'm going to have enough talent on my offense where losing Tyreek Hill isn't going to kill me now.
Right. So I mean, you got blessed with 2, like I said, 2 first-round draft picks that you don't need. Right. You also don't need those.
Kenny, where they got who?
Jameson?
No, you're thinking of Mechie.
Yeah.
Mechie tore, and Mechie looks good right now in workouts.
What is that number? They got him at number 9, I think.
The bowl, right?
He tore it in the playoff.
Yeah, the last game, right?
The last game. And he's been working out like crazy. He looks really good right now. And Pro Football Doc says he's going to be ready to go.
Bro, it's truly insane to watch their production of receivers, knowing who the running backs are in past years, and now to see that kind of switching to where they got nothing but receivers. Like Henry Ruggs, you got Jerry Jeudy, you got Devonta Smith. Like, there's so many guys that are coming out in the past
Well, it's
couple years.
and I also think that the highlight is on wide receivers more now because we see what's going on with high draft pick running backs. It's just they're too beat up. I mean, look at Darius Geis and look at Todd Gurley. I mean, you look at these running backs that obviously are done before their prime, and they're ran into the ground in college. They come into the league and they're just ran into the ground some more, and it's. Why waste a first round pick on a running back? Why get an early third round or a late second round on somebody?
For example, a guy like Breece Hall is going. Remember the name. He's going to be like Jonathan Taylor. Like he's going to be absolutely filthy. I don't care what anybody says. He's disgusting.
Yep.
But he won't get drafted before the second round. And then after his rookie contract is up, he will struggle to get a big deal. But if I'm a team, I'm absolutely taking Breece Hall.
Oh yeah, and we finished that a long time ago.
And Kenny, rumor inside the Rams locker room is, Rams front office is they're drafting a running back with their first pick in the draft.
Listen, if you can get Breece Hall and Cam Akers, good night.
Oh my goodness!
Good night.
No, I want I want your boy.
Neil, you seen him play?
No,
Turn the tape on.
I have to look it up.
Breece Hall was the best running back in
That boy is nice.
Well, I think what was it, third round we got? Our first pick is on as the third round, I think. So
and it's honestly not impossible for him to fall there though.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
looking at something right now that has Breece Hall going to Buffalo in the first round. Well, that's how volatile the running back situation is. He can go in the first, he can go in the third, and no one would be surprised.
yeah, because Buffalo's issue is running backs. The fucking morons.
Well, if they get a
Kenny,
running back, they're still
what is, bro? There's so many teams of his color. Why am I thinking? Am I thinking Minnesota for some reason?
Iowa State. So it's the same color.
Iowa State is the same. They got that maroon, right?
And the Burks.
Or that crimson or whatever.
Yep, with the gold.
Yeah. He's a problem. Listen, now I'm excited. You got Sauce that's coming out too. Like, I don't know who's gonna get him a pure lockdown corner. Played for 4 years.
If the Pelicans don't get an edge, if we can get Sauce or Stingley Jr.,
Relax.
AJ Corral and one of them.
Relax.
It's no fly zone in
Relax.
Atlanta.
That would be
You don't need
nasty.
an edge rusher because you're not
Relax. Don't do that now.
Who needs offense?
Nah, but
For my squad, I'm just hoping we lost offensive line, and we lost cornerbacks, and we lost a punter. So I'm looking for, at some point in the draft, we need O-line depth, we need cornerback depth, and then at some point I would like to see a punter get drafted.
What's great for you guys though, Neil, is the O-line. Like those are the prime rounds to draft your O-line. It's
Right.
rounds 3 through 6.
Exactly.
So it's okay to not have 1 and 2 because if you're just strictly drafting for O-line, you're not taking for the third round anyways, unless you're getting one of the top 5 picks, and you weren't getting a top 5 pick. So what's the difference?
Exactly.
Phil, what about you? What's the Pats talking about over there? What's the needs?
Wide receiver, defense, because our defense is old as hell. Preferably cornerback, because J.C. Jackson went to the Chargers.
And there's some good corners out there too, even though they're putting the 2 on Mount Everest right now.
I feel like that's just another position, right? Like a cornerback. I mean, you can tell on the tape if the cornerback has coverage skills, and then everything else you can develop.
Sauce is like that.
Yeah, probably
no
a linebacker
TDs.
as well.
Like this is the first year though with like the Pelicans in like a long time because we don't have a quarterback now. There's like not one position the Pelicans can take tomorrow that I'd say, why did we do that? Like we need everything, and there's so much talent available in the top 10 that I could be happy. I mean, like we need O-line help, but at this point, that might be the only position where I'm like, okay, we have an O-line to protect no quarterback. Like, you know what I mean?
That's where you got to start building. Though I hope my fault, Phil. Go ahead.
Okay. What did I say? Wide receiver, linebacker, cornerback, maybe. I think that pretty much that's it. Especially help the defense get younger because Dante Hightower is getting older.
Wide receiver?
Yes, wide receiver.
Okay.
I'm looking right now.
I said wide receiver first.
So wide receiver. You better have said that.
That was my first answer.
Peter Schrager has you guys taking Trent McDuffie from Washington. Washington is really like DBU. Like people don't realize, but like Desmond Trufant went there.
Buda Baker.
Buda Baker went there.
Kevin King.
They just produce good players.
Bunch of lockup.
He went there.
Yep. He was there with Buda Baker and Kevin King too.
What's Marcus Peters? Like they're DBU. If you get a Washington corner,
all 3 of them are on the same team.
Like,
That was crazy.
You get a corner from Washington, within the next 4 years, they're probably a top 10 corner.
But
sorry. Before we continue, the Patriots have been sneaky good at drafting cornerbacks, J.C. Jackson, etc. So hopefully they hit one here too. So
Yeah,
they can draft receivers. So
if you need a receiver, this is the year to need one, because there are so many receivers that are.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. They're all talented.
The only way I think a team can go wrong is I think if you take Drake London from USC before you take anybody else, I think that's where you go wrong. He's gonna be good, but like I like Jameson Williams more than him. I like
He gonna be
the
the what was it, Whiteside from the Eagles? That's
Arcega Whiteside.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
Like I'm saying this to you guys, and I'm hearing today the Pelicans are very interested in Drake London. So I know what that means. We're gonna draft Drake London at 8 tomorrow, and then someone is gonna take
Played in the pack
Williams at 9, and Jameson Williams is gonna turn into an all-time great receiver, and Drake London will be out of the league in 3 years. I know
he played in the pack though, so pass heavy.
They played in the pack. They're not. That's nothing.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 is not what the Pac-12 used to be.
He said, "I'm not going." He said, "I'm not going for it." But I just hope tomorrow. I just hope the Saints do the correct thing, and draft a receiver with one of those 2 first picks. And if they don't go get a quarterback, go and get an edge rusher, because Cam Jordan is not getting any younger. And then address the O-line in the second and third. I think that's what they need to do. And then if they can go, Honey Badger's still out there. I still got some hope. If he's not sipping the LAT like Bobby Wagner and them,
He's going to LA.
He needs to come back home where he belongs to finish his career out. You feel me?
What are some notable free agents left before?
Jarvis Landry is available.
Before we go on to free agents, just a fun fact. Do you guys remember Last Chance U, the last year when they were at that school in Kansas with that crazy coach?
Yeah.
Remember Jermaine Johnson, who was the D-end? He was going to Florida State for them. Well,
I probably gotta see him.
Yeah, but
he's in the draft.
He's gonna go top 10 tomorrow.
Wow!
Ooh, congrats.
That's crazy.
Nice.
When you see Jermaine Johnson, remember he was on Last Chance U.
Last Chance U.
Good shit.
But yes, free agents. You got Jarvis. Jarvis Landry. How sick do you think he is? He was like, I gotta get out of Cleveland. Then,
nobody wants him.
2 weeks later, they trade for Deshaun Watson, and he calls Cleveland back like, y'all still want me?
Yeah, what the fuck?
He said that?
Well, yeah, he's in talk. Him and Cleveland are in communication because now he wouldn't mind going back because Baker's not the quarterback.
Bro, you got Deebo Samuel wants out of San Fran too. Nobody wants to play in the NFC West anymore.
You saw him in the club. He was like,
"Yeah,
I'm not gonna be here."
They're like, "Stay, Deebo." He was like,
"Nah, he's smart though because last season his body all crunched up. He said, I need that paper guaranteed."
Well, you know what he said? He said he don't want that role anymore. He said, "I don't want to play running back. I'm a receiver."
Smart man.
Also, I think the Jets are favored to get him, but I don't think that trade will happen.
Send him over there. Goodbye. Good. See you later.
Why do people still go there? Don't they realize that's where careers go to die?
Bye-bye.
The Jets.
The Jets. They're favorite to get him. Yeah.
Name me somebody that went there that
Robert Saleh. I don't know if he liked them or something. I don't know. But
bye-bye.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I couldn't be happier.
Yo, shout out to Rizzo, man, for the single hit today. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to the Yankees too.
Yes,
They winning right now.
You want to talk about a fun fact? Anthony Rizzo hit 3 pop flies yesterday that were home runs.
Yikes.
3 pop flies. 3 of them.
They were not pop flies.
Pop flies. They're only home runs in Yankee Stadium.
How deep were they? I'll tell you right now you're wrong.
292.
Oh, here we go with the lies.
He said there goes with the lies. Oh man.
I'm gonna look it up right now with the distances so I can tell you how wrong you are. It was
292. I'm telling you, the first home run he hit yesterday was 292 yards. Or 292 feet.
14. So you're already lying.
Let's look it up. One stadium, his home run would have been a home run in yesterday.
Look, yeah.
Yankee Stadium.
All right, but my last question though before we do wrap it up here.
346, 378, and 327. So lie to me again, Neil.
All right, I'll send it to you on Twitter.
All right, listen, my My last NFL question here is: do you guys believe Denver is at the top of the AFC West?
No.
Is Patrick Mahomes still the quarterback of Kansas City?
I'm just asking the question,
I'm
man.
asking you, is Patrick Mahomes still the quarterback of Kansas City?
He definitely is. He definitely is.
He's going to take that guess.
So Kansas City is at the top.
My answer is no.
Yeah.
All right. I just saw a post today. I just wanted to check your temperature to see how y'all feel.
No,
You know?
as long as Patrick Mahomes is still, I mean, the man has never
Half a Billy.
He's never played in a playoff game that's not at home unless it was a Super Bowl. So until that changes, you're not knocking him out. Like just signing Russell Wilson doesn't.
No Tyreek Hill. I'm still taking them.
Don't care.
Yep.
It's
don't care.
We think the Chargers over Denver though.
They brought in Juju, and they're going to get a receiver tomorrow. Like so, you don't have Tyreek Hill.
So what's it looking like? Yeah, what's the hierarchy looking like over there?
I think the Chargers over Denver.
No, I'm going Chiefs, Denver, Charger, Vegas.
Even with Devontae?
Yep. And that's no slight to them. Like if they were in any other division, I might have them as the best team. But that's just that division is crazy.
They get the worst end of the stick because they got all those teams leveling up and shit.
Well,
I'll flip Chargers and Denver. I'll say the reverse with Kenny in the middle.
All right, man. Any last words from y'all, man? Any last words? Draft tomorrow, man.
Golf season.
Golf season?
Hit me up, Nielsen.
Golf season, boys.
You go on the weekends?
On the side.
What time you go?
I go every day. All day, every day.
Sundays and Mondays, Neil. Hit me up.
I go early, Lawrence. You ain't coming out here.
Yeah,
If we actually planned it on the weekend, I would show up. If I was like, if everybody's like, we're gonna go, I would go.
All right, we'll do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Whoa.
You don't do that.
I show up.
Lawrence.
I show up.
Lawrence is gonna show up and not let anybody know he's at the golf course. So you're like, y'all didn't even show up. Like, yeah, you didn't let us know.
Y'all said a time and a place. I'm there. Like, I ain't got to tell you if I'm there or not. I just know I'm gonna be on time. I 10 by 10. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. We'll set it up.
I'm not Kevin Durant. I'll show up.
Cause I got like I said, I got clubs and stuff too. So
let's go.
Yeah.
I got clubs too. A nice friend here. So.
Phil, that's your last words?
It's still NBA season on this side, so on to Milwaukee. Yeah,
you got 4 brooms. You better go put those in the kitchen before your mom hit you upside the head.
With all of them.
Oh yeah, no. These are cleaning utensils and weapons in an Asian household. So I know.
Listen. You're not speaking nothing different.
What household isn't it?
What you talking about? How you think I became a running back?
I had PTSD holding me.
Everybody sleeps on the broom side of the broom hurts the most. Fuck the wooden side. The other side hurts the most.
I had PTSD holding these.
The other side, that shit hurts. Them whisks.
That was nothing but weave. You tweaking. Yeah, tweaking. Never.
He said evade.
The ass woman was always worse when you does it. But
hello.
All right, so last words for y'all. Y'all good?
Golf season, and if for anybody that doesn't know, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury,
I didn't get to watch that fight. I didn't even know he was fighting.
Probably just hung up the gloves after his dominating victory over his last opponent.
You don't think the fight with Ngakou's gonna happen?
Uppercut to the jaw, sent the boy down to the ground. Couldn't even get up after. I think he said that he might be done. I'm sad we never got an Anthony Joshua fight, but maybe at some point it'll happen. But then again, these boxers and fighters always say we retire and they fucking fight 10 more times. So we'll see what happens. But Tyson Fury, great career.
That dough cheese.
Piggybacking off of that, if you are a combat sport fan in upstate New York, this summer it's the weekend of June 10th, I believe, is the Boxing Hall of Fame. And because they haven't had it because of COVID the last 2 years, it's they're doing the last
all stars.
It's Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Layla Ali, Holly Holm, James Toney. It's like
all getting inducted.
Yeah,
inducted.
And Floyd will be there too.
Floyd's getting inducted.
Yeah, Floyd will be there
Okay.
too.
So
That's
and
what's up.
they're having fights at the Turning Stone that weekend. There's going to be a big parade. So if you're into boxing, this is like the year to check out the Boxing Hall of Fame in Canastota.
Yep, I will be there.
That's nice.
I hope you
All
cover
right.
it.
Hey man, listen man, appreciate y'all for the consistency. I thank everybody that tuned in tonight.
Rest in peace, Brooklyn as well.
IBTE Sports, IBTE Network. Man, we up out of here. We appreciate you. Neil, you got any last words about the Nets?
Fucking bitches.
1, 2, 3, Cancun. Yeah.
Fucking bitches.
Start the bus up.
Wait, hold on. I got one last thing.
Fucking little bitches.
I got one last thing.
See, this isn't fair though because only Lawrence has access to do this stuff. And like when the City schools though, like we don't see nothing.
Nah, this is available to everybody.
No, it ain't. We can't do this stuff.
Brooklyn to the buses.
Oh my
Get those Bernie
goodness.
buses out.
Nah, we up out here though,
You don't
man.
need Bernie and Utica no more.
That's true.